starting with television. First one, class type and class name. Plus is public. So public class television, right? But it's in italics. So public abstract class television. And is anything pointing to it? Interface. What's this? Oh yeah, it's public electronic device. Realizes into television. So it implements television. Public abstract class television. Public abstract class television implements electronic device. And that's how you read this. So for the first one, class name. Second one, your variables. Minus is private. So it's going to be a private string called the make. All you do is you declare that. Private string, the make. Third one is your methods. What's a method? Public television. And because this is inside the brackets, it's taking this, right? And it's going to use it in the method. So what is it using? It's using a string called a make. So public television, and it uses a string called a make. That's this right here, public television, and it uses a string called a make. And what do you do in the method? You figure that out yourself, but guess what? You just remember this. If you're importing a string called a make, and you have your own string called the make, just use your head, think a bit. What are we going to do? We're going to make this, the make, equal to a make. So the thing we're taking in, we're going to give that value to our own the make. So that's what this is doing. This the make equals a make. So now we got an input and we're storing that as the make inside this class. Next method, public string get make. Public plus name get make. It's a method because of the brackets, and it's in the third one. But the return type, dot dot string. So that's the return type. Public string get make. Public return type string, method name get make, then method. What does this do? It's similar to Python. You just return this the make. That's all you do. Third method, toString. Try and read this yourself. What's a plus mean? What's the toString mean? What's string mean? It's public, the name of the method, the return type. Where do you put the return type? Before the name. Public string toString. What are we returning? Return and then a string. So you have to look at the name, toString. What do you think the method toString is going to do? It's just going to turn something into a string. And then the string that you're going to turn it into, it's going to be given to you on the paper. It's as an example. An example input is, the model is Sony. And then you just put in whatever it is. So return and then the string. And then you use the method getMake and that's how you get the make. Down here, this arrow, this means this uses it, right? This extends it. Plasma extends television. What is this? It's this over here. Default. So default / package / no access modifier. So there's nothing going on here, right? And you can handle this by putting it in the same file as television, because Plasma uses television and it's not public or anything. There's no need for a new file. So same file, class Plasma extends television, and implements highly desirable is up here, your interface. What is an interface? It's a completely different file and it looks like this. That's all you have to do. Look, package, your package name, which is this up here. And then in this package, we have a public interface, highly desirable. And then you just open and close that. It could look like this if you want. Doesn't matter. Public interface, highly desirable. That's all it is. So it implements that. We go down here, private minus string, the model. Private string, the model. Plus Plasma, a make string, a model string. Public Plasma, and it takes in a string called a make, and it takes in a string called a model. And as another method, get model, which return type string plus toString, return type string. So you have two more methods that return a string, and then another one where you just say what everything is. Public Plasma string a make, so you're taking string a make from something, and string a model, so you're also getting a model from something. Where are you going to get the make? Well, actually, we did the make up here in television. So we're going to super, open bracket, a make, close bracket, semicolon. That's it. That's all you do. Because look, you're getting a make and you're getting a model. Where are you getting the make from? Well, it's not in here. Because look, this string is the model. Where are you going to get it from? You're going to get it from up here in television. You're going to get the make from up here. A make, the make, getting it from television. All you do super, open bracket, the name, close bracket. Now boom, you have it. And now this, the model, equals a model. So this model, the model inside this class, plasma, is going to be equal to the thing we're getting, which is a model. So this a model, we're going to give this value into the model. Then your next two methods. And what's next? Return the make is super get make. These are the only supers you do, right? Except you have some over here, right? Super dot get make and super a make. So if you're in the class below and you're using something from the class above, that's when you use super. With methods, it's super dot, and if you're just taking a variable, super brackets. That's it. Very simple. Next thing, computer. I want you to pause and see if you could read this. This box itself, could you find out what you're doing? Like, what does this top box mean? What's this middle box do? And what's this bottom? If you can find out what it is, then everything gets a lot simpler, right? So look, if you know the top is your class name, so what type of class? A public class, and it's abstract. Public abstract class called computer. Very simple to remember once you know how to read it, right? Because if you didn't know how to read this at all, it doesn't matter. You're gonna see plus computer, and you're gonna forget how to code public abstract class. You know. Second one, it's variables. So you have what? Private. What kind? String. What's it called? The make. And all you do is declare it. So inside computer, which is a different file, because look, it's public. Something can't be public in a file that has something else that's public. So if you have public computer, it has to be its own file called computer. The same way if you have television, the public class is going to be television. So another file for computer, and then if you go down, default, laptop, and iPad. So there's going to be two more classes, the class laptop and the class iPad. Within the file, computer, which is within the package, this up here. So package, then class name and type, and then implements electronic device, because of course it does over here, this arrow realize. Then within here, within your computer class, you write this out. Third one, what is it? It's your methods. If it's in the brackets, then you're taking it in. And if it's brackets and then the two dots, that means the method name and the return type. So look in here, public computer and an input. No return type. Look up here, where are we computer? Public computer, you're taking in a string called a make, no return type needed. That's it. And read this yourself. Computer, and it's taking in a make. What do you think that would do, you know? If it's taking in a make and you have your own the make, then you're probably going to make this a make into, you're going to take this value and put it into your own the make. So then that's what you do within here. Next thing, get make. What do you think get make is? If I wanted the make, what am I going to do? I'm just going to return the make. That's it. ToString, it's in the name. What am I going to do? I'm just going to turn it into a string. And that's what I did here. So you find out the type, the return type, the name, if it's a method, blah, blah. And it's so easy to write out once you see these things because it's handed to you. Look, let's go through this whole thing. You think, oh, how am I going to remember to code this? Plus is public, that's given to you. String, return type, that's given to you. ToString, look, that's given to you as well. So return, what are we returning? It's something you have to remember. But look, it's in the name, ToString. If I want something, what am I going to return? I'm going to turn it into a string. I'm going to return a string. And it's even in the name here, I'm returning a string. So if I'm going to put something into a string, the make is Again, that's going to be on the piece of paper as an example they give you. Uh, uh, an output example is the make is apple. So then that's going to be given to you as well. Plus this, the make. Well, if I'm turning something into a string, I'm turning the make into a string. Guess what? I'm gonna use the make. And see this? You think this is difficult to code? The entire thing is given to you right here. So it's not even about memory. Don't be stressed about learning it. Next thing, why am I scrolling down? Default laptop. So class laptop, because the default is like if you write nothing, it's going to be default. Class laptop extends computer. Why is it extends? Because this is an interface and this is just another class. That's why it's extends. If it's an interface, you just you implement it if it's an interface, and if it's a class, you extend it. Laptop extends computer. Blah blah. Guess what? You have a string called the model. Guess what? It's private. Easy to read. Literally copy and paste. If you can read this, that means you can read this, which means you can do absolutely everything down here. Then next thing, interface electronic device. What interfaces? Again, simple, right? The hardest part is this, because everything in here is given to you. The only memorization you need to know is the main method, shop. Try and read this. Public method, not method, my fault guys. Public class, right? This is where the main method is stored though, because this has main arg string void, that's the main method of everything. So class name shop, it's public. It's not in italics, so it's not abstract. Public class shop, it has the main method, and it has another method called process devices. In here, what are you doing? It's going to be given to you in the question. You're making 4 things. And that's what you're doing here. Array list. What's the array list consisting of? Electronic device. And then device. That's the name of it, device. So an array list of electronic devices called device equals a new array list. New array list, and then this to say it's an array, and this because it's a method because you're making a new array list. Close that. Electronic device, which is what you're making. You're making an electronic device. This is the name P1. It could be like Simon, it doesn't matter. Equals new plasma. New plasma down here. So you're making one of these, right? What are you inputting? You're putting in the make and the model. Then device dot is just adding the thing you just made into device. What's device? It's the array list you made up here. And then you just do that 4 more times for whatever they tell you to do. And then at the bottom, you're gonna get the array you just made, and that's full of the 4 things you just made also. And then you're gonna do the method process devices and input the devices into this method. What's this method? Let's go down here. Public underlined is static. So it's public, it's static. What's the return type? There's a bracket missing here. Okay. The return type is void. And what does it use? It uses an array list electronic device called devices. So by understanding this is mad typos. Like, look, this is so weird. There's like whatever. But hope it's proper in the test, and you just read it, right? You read it out, and then you get all of this. So for electronic device item, so we just did Python, if you know how a for loop works in Python. For L in list P. So for the item, for each item in devices, we're going to do this. So we're going to system out print the item. And if it's highly desirable, we system out print highly desirable. Run this. What's it going to give us? It's going to give us this. How does this work? The make is Sony. Where did I do all this? We're system out print the item. Guess what the item is? You're turning it into a toString in all these. So once you get all these right, you just make these and give them values, right? This is the only difficult thing, right? If you focus on like, oh, can I remember this shop? and you manage to get most of it, these are light work, right? You'll be fine. So look at television, class name, class type, variable, variable type, and like the type of variable that it is, and then methods, and the type of methods and the names, the return types, and the inputs. Light work once you learn it.